Losing Faith in the Way, the story of Wayne Dyer. Hey guys, John here in my beautiful studio, having a wonderful day, looking out on the beautiful snow-covered ground, having a wonderful morning, or actually afternoon, drinking my big mug of water. Because it's what I'm made of. A friend of mine used to say that. Wayne Dyer. I have always been a big fan of Wayne Dyer. I loved listening to his speeches. I loved reading his books. I enjoyed my time experiencing Wayne Dyer. I loved his moment of letting things play out, telling the story of his grandchildren fighting on the beach, and they all came to Grandpa to complain. He says, "You'll figure it out." And he just let them figure it out on his own because that was the way. It was they would find out the Tao, as he would call it. He called himself a Taoist master. But Wayne Dyer, at the end of his life, kind of lost some of his own beliefs. You know, his whole thing was about the Tao and the self-actualization and realizing the power within and all of these various very self-realizations of his own divinity, coming to that place of realizing that the world without was a reflection of of what was within. When Wayne Dyer got leukemia, there was a definite shift in Wayne Dyer's methods and teachings. It scared him. It got him to a point where he was trying to figure out how to survive leukemia. And so at the end of his life, he went to a guy named John of God, which was a Brazilian medium, and I quote using quotes there because I personally have felt that he was just a con man, John of God. And now he's been indicted for over 600 rapes of people he was healing. But that's, after the Wayne Dyer's death thing. But the concept of Wayne Dyer, the Taoist master who teaches self-realization and the power within, suddenly needing to go to a medium healer in South America to heal himself, was in complete conflict with his teachings, with what he taught. He was looking outside of himself for some miraculous cure. And why would the Taoist master do that? Because he lost faith in his power. He lost faith in his way. He went to someone outside of himself to try to find healing when all healing comes from within. It is your faith that heals you. It wasn't your faith in somebody else. It wasn't your faith in this. That's one of the reasons why Joshua wanted to leave the work, is because everyone was saying that it was him that was healing them. But he kept saying it's your faith that heals you. You believe it, so it heals you. I feel for Wayne Dyer because to go to John of God after living a Taoist lifestyle means that you are literally giving up on your core beliefs. He must have been in a very desperate place to go to someone like John of God at that moment, because it does, as I say, go directly against his Taoist teachings. And so his mindset must have been desperation. His mindset must have been that he was looking for something outside of himself to save himself, which basically meant that the power that he was looking for was outside of self, but his entire teachings and his entire beliefs were that the power was within. He had a conflict of belief. Now, Wayne Dyer died not long after, but he had the psychic surgery, as it was called. He actually got a scar from the psychic surgery because John of God actually had to cut him in that psychic surgery. And John of God used to do things where he'd make people's noses bleed and give them this big show for them to put faith in. People would say, "I was healed by John of God." You were healed by your faith that John of God heals. And he was using his showmanship to make you have faith. But all healing is done through belief. Wayne Dyer could have healed himself. Maybe he didn't know how. Maybe he was at a place where his Taoist teachings were failing him. Maybe he also didn't understand that the physical world is just an illusion of belief. But in that regard of Wayne, I still take great comfort in his teachings. I love still watching his speeches on PBS. I still enjoy what I get from him. But to me, he's like the Bible. I take what works and I discard what doesn't. And when I look at the end of his life and I see this process of him choosing to set down his power and give it to someone else, I feel for him, because that's him literally declaring his inability. It's him literally saying the power is not within me. And yet that's what he taught. Self-realization, self-actualization, self-empowerment. That's what he taught. But at the end, he himself didn't feel powerful because the fear of leukemia made him feel like he needed something outside of himself, when everything is within. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Everything. And like I said, I love his work. I love his writings. I feel sad that he lost his faith in the end, because to me, that's what hastened his demise and shortened his ability to leave more beautiful books and more beautiful speeches. So that's kind of my thought on Wayne Dyer. It kind of makes me sad to think of him because I really liked him. But it really makes me sad that he gave up on his own personal self-realization, self-actualization, and self-empowerment, and gave it away at the end. So that's my thought on this. I hope you guys have a great day, and go out and read something by Wayne Dyer. Go out and listen to one of his speeches on YouTube. There's a lot of really good in there. So that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.